Well, good morning. Hope everyone's doing all right this morning. We're coming to you live, almost live, from the Lamppost Coffee Shop, Austin, Texas. We hope things are going well with you today. And we're going to talk all kinds of things today. We're going to look at some YouTube channels and do some critique, observe, see what we can learn from looking at a couple of channels. And we're also going to maybe talk a little bit about channel design up here right at the beginning, because channel design, if you're starting your YouTube channel, it's all about content, right? Here's my channel, and I need to get rid of that. When you're thinking about channel design in terms of a topic, what comes to mind? That'll get us started this morning. If you're with us, jump into chat. Let me know what's going on as we talk a little bit about now. In terms of my channel, I'm not homing in on any one niche. Niche. I like niche because it rhymes with Mitch. And the approach that I'm taking is I am the niche, because I have a lot of interest, you'll see here. These are my past live streams, and looks like we're going live now. I'm going to refresh and see if it shows that I'm now live. Should. Yeah, right here. See right here? Right here. See my mouse? So when you go live, it'll show up right here. It's live now, so that when people go to your channel, they'll click on here and it'll take them to the live stream. Oh, excuse me. And so I have my live streams right here at the top. And then I have broken down all the areas of interest that I have. Now, each of these could be a separate channel. Each of these could be a separate niche. I like niche because it rhymes with Mitch. And I am the niche. Mitch is the niche. That's my logo. I mean, that's my slogan. Mitch is the niche. Because for quite a long time, I have started YouTube channels under various topics. I had one for real estate, I had one for music, I had one for spiritual matters. Since I'm a Christian, I had a faith-based, in fact I still do have a faith-based channel. I've had one for fine art since I'm an artist. So I mean, I have been all over the map when it comes to, you know, YouTube channels having a specific niche. And I never could stay interested because my interests are so varied and I get bored so easy that I got tired of it. And I said, you know, I'm just going to lean into the fact that I don't have a niche. Niche. Mitch is the niche. How do you say it? Let me know in chat or in comments how you pronounce it. Niche? I've heard it niche, rhymes with quiche. I've heard it pronounced niche, rhymes with Mitch. I've heard it niche. I guess if I was French, it would be niche. What is your niche? Well, the point is, I had all of these channels over time, over the last few years, and I've created all kinds of YouTube channels with particular niches, and I never could find one that I wanted to stick with because I just wanted to start doing all kinds of things. And so I leaned into the idea that I have no specific niche on this channel. I am the niche, and I'm building a personal brand. So in terms of channel design, I've got it broken down into artificial intelligence, culture, social media, explainer videos, which I've started to make, fine art, politics, writing. And since I already have a faith-based channel elsewhere, I have not included that here, but I've also got a faith-based channel. So in terms of channel design, I came up with the logo, came up with this name based on a quote from Shelby Foote. And I know everyone's asking, well, what does even rabbits means? What's that mean? Where did that come from? Shelby Foote, in his Volume 1 of the Civil War, A History, he made a quote, 200,000 of anything, even rabbits, could make a considerable impression. And it was referring to the troops, the Union troops, after a battle facing a rebel army. And the word was that the rebels had 200,000 men or more, and the Unions only had about 100,000. So the general was thinking, man, I'm outmanned 2-1. And the general was worried about that, but he was telling his men that, you know, pretty large numbers, maybe you may be outnumbered, but sometimes you still got to move on, move ahead. And Shelby Foote in the book at that point said that 200,000 of anything, even rabbits, could make an impression. So even if you've got these soft little furry animals in the right amount of numbers, you've got enough of them, even they'll make an impression. And the whole idea of being a soft, cuddly, furry little rabbit, you can still have an impression if you have enough resources. And that's kind of the take I'm taking, is even rabbits can succeed if you get enough resources behind you. And in terms of my channel, I'm thinking, okay, if I can get to 200,000 subscribers, then I'll be well on my way. So how long is it going to take me to get to 200,000 subscribers? I've got 237, and I want to get up to 200,000. So how long is that going to take me? How many years? Come back in about 5 years and we'll see where I'm at. So in terms of channel design, you don't need a big fancy banner. You can have one, I guess, but you want to think about the label that you give, the title of your channel, and if you want a logo of some kind. And then you've got all of these various breakdowns here in terms of your videos. Here are some videos I did months ago in the entertainment industry area. Shorts, live, playlists, and posts. Many YouTubers don't take advantage of this post area, and I'm going to start doing more posting. I've not done much either. So, channel design, that'll get us started. Any comments on channel design, put them in the comments or let me know. We need some folks in chat. Come along and give us some questions, give us some ideas of what's going on in your world. So let's see. All right, now then, what I've been trying to do over the last couple of weeks, I started this live stream 2 weeks ago. I'm beginning my third week. And it's all been about working out the kinks, working out the technical issues, especially the audio when you're coming from a live environment. Kind of quiet in here this morning. It's not too bad. I was going to see if I could let's see. Let's take that out. And let's stop that. But anyway, here's the coffee shop this morning. See what's going on. As you can see, it's kind of quiet. Let me show you. As you can see, it's hardly anybody in here this morning. Where is everybody? Which I like because it's nice and quiet. I don't have to worry too much about background noise. Not right now anyway, so that's good. But what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks have just been trying to get used to the setup. I come in the mornings. I'm here when they open at 7. And I set up my outfit, laptop, what I call my kit. I have a live broadcasting kit made up of a laptop, and it's made up of an extra monitor and microphone and all that kind of stuff. And get all that set up within a fairly short amount of time. Now that I've gotten used to what I need to do and how I need to set it up, it's gotten much easier. And now I can come in the mornings and be up and running within half an hour. And so, as I say, the last few days have just been trying to get this thing worked out and trying to figure out the logistics and figuring out the audio settings and using OBS. I use OBS, working out the various scenes and filters. This morning I'm using a blue border, a blue overlay, as you can see, and I'm going to try that for a while, see how that looks. I may try various overlays over the coming days, or I may go without an overlay. I kind of like it because it helps frame out the background. There's some things over here in the background that I'm trying to get rid of, and overlays help do that. And then I started thinking about, okay, we need to start thinking about content for the channel. And so that's where I came up with a basic format that I'm going to follow in these live broadcasts for the next couple of weeks or so, and see how it works out. We're going to start off with an intro, sort of get us started, give folks time to hop into chat, and then we're going to go over to YouTube and we're going to do a critique. We're going to, at random, pull up a YouTube channel and take a look at it. We're going to look at the title, look at the thumbnail, sort of do a deep dive into a YouTube channel, see what we can learn. Then we'll have a small amount of time left, maybe do some Q&A, questions. And then I've got a guest speaker. I'll bring in a video or somebody that a YouTuber, someone that I have found on YouTube that will maybe give us some information, give us some motivation, help us learn something, kind of get motivated, sort of a motivational time with someone that I have discovered on YouTube, and then we'll be done. So if you've come across us and you want to stay around, please do, because we've got lots of things to talk about. And so if we go by our menu here, our recipe, we need to go up to the browser and start looking at some YouTube channels here. Let's go up to our browser, kind of see what's what. I'm going to try to adjust the screen here a little bit, see if I can bring in a little bit more. It's a little bit too. That's better. Now we can see a bit more. I really don't need to see what's over there on the side so much. Let's go with this. Let's pick up a topic. What do we want to talk about? Let's see, yesterday we looked at some channels for gardening. What about today? What do we want to watch today, look at today? What's a topic? What's a niche? A niche. A niche. Well, let's see. How about, let's just come up with something here. Let's go with, I'm just going to type in a weird, let's type in, I don't know, books. Books for kids. Book recommendations. BookTube. All right, let's use BookTube as our search. Let's see what we come up with here. All right. Here we've got Life on Books. See what looks interesting here. How to start on BookTube. All right. This looks interesting. Ashlyn Cayley. She's got this 49,000 views. That's not bad. All right. Well, let's start looking. Let's look at why don't we go with we'll go with Ashlyn Cayley. See how she looks this morning. We'll take a look at her. I'm going to close in on her right here. Let's take a look at her. All right, what we want to do first is look at her thumbnail. She's got in big, bold letters at the top, book shopping. And then underneath that, cozy fall day. And she's got her face dragging some books around, obviously at a bookstore. So, what do you think of that thumbnail? I'm not sure. When you think about thumbnails, you often see the YouTuber put their face on the thumbnail, and that's good or bad. It depends. I've heard some say that you don't necessarily need to put your face on there unless you're really a well-known figure. If you're a well-known YouTuber, if you've got 1 million maybe subscribers, you know, you're doing pretty well, then maybe. But nobody's going to recognize you. Nobody knows who you are. I mean, I've never seen this young woman before. Why would I click? I'm not going to click on this because of her. Now, she does have an expression on her face, which is, they talk about creating a curiosity gap on your thumbnail. You want to create something that makes you stop and get curious about what's going on. Now, I don't know, book shopping, cozy fall day. I'm not real sure what that means. Obviously, she's going to go shopping for books, and evidently it's going to be on a cozy fall day. So just looking at the thumbnail itself, I don't know. What do you think? We're going to start grading some of these channels here. We're going to grade this thumbnail here. Where should I put this right now? How about over here? We're going to look at the thumbnail, the title, the intro, her screen presence, the content, and then give her an overall rating. So in terms of the thumbnail, what do you give her, an A, B, C, or D? In terms of its clickability, because that's the idea. If no one clicks on your thumbnail, then you're wasting your time. So that's the beginning spot. You want to get people to click. Does this make me want to click? Not really. I mean, I don't particularly like the text. She could just take that text out. She doesn't need it. What if it was just her in front of a bunch of books? Doesn't she communicate the idea of, doesn't it look like she's book shopping? So she doesn't need the text. The cozy fall day, who cares? I mean, the cozy fall day really doesn't matter. So it's not that great of a thumbnail, but I like the expression on her face. I like what she's trying to do, but you know, thumbnails, you've got to give thumbnails a lot of thought. Most YouTubers, I say most, the YouTubers that are not being as successful as they could be don't spend time on their thumbnails. They just throw things together. The successful YouTubers will say you probably need to spend 50% of your time on designing the thumbnail, and then the other 50% of your time on the title and the content. And probably want to spend a lot of time on the title as well. You've got to have the thumbnail and the title nailed down, or you're just wasting your time. Nobody's going to see your content if they don't click on your thumbnail. So I'm going to give her a C. It's just average. And there's certainly room for improvement. So what about her title? What about the title? We're going to click on, bring it up.
We're back. This has become an annual thing at this point where I go.
All right, right at the beginning.
Reporting live. There is a cool breeze in the air. There are pumpkins back at Whole Foods and Sprout, and pumpkin drinks are back. You know what that means? Book shopping. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We're back. This has become an.
Well, she starts off with a bang, doesn't she? So let me see if I can bring this up a little. Here, let me readjust. Okay. I'm not too sure about that opening. Let's go back at the beginning and watch her opening again. Her intro. That's what we're looking at here. We want to look at the intro and the title. We've looked at the thumbnail. Now we're going to look at the intro and the title right here. Her title is Cozy Fall Book Shopping, excuse me, at Barnes & Nobles and Book Hall. Okay, so her title is Cozy Fall Book Shopping at Barnes & Noble and Book Hall. And this is at the very beginning. I mean, we're at the very start. Let's see how she starts this thing, this intro.
Reporting live. There is a cool breeze in the air.
Okay, what's with all the text? What's with all this? Fall weather report. Then she's got cool breeze down at the bottom. Cool breeze reported. She's got this text down here. I'm not too sure about that.
There are pumpkins back at Whole Foods and Sprout, and pumpkin drinks are back. You know what that means? Book shopping. Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, she has mentioned the title in the first, we're 15 seconds in, and she mentioned her title. Probably a little too long to wait. People are clicking on that title that says we're going to go book shopping, and she's 15 seconds in before she talks about it. You've got to mention that title within the first 10 to 15 seconds. So I guess she's okay at that point, but still, I think she probably waited a bit too long. Okay.
We're back. This has become an annual thing at this point where I go fall book shopping, and it's so fun because if you guys didn't see, I did a post like a few days ago and I asked you guys to give me fall book recommendations, and I made a list, compiled the ones that sounded interesting to me, the ones that made me a little nervous to read because they were like very spooky. Let's go in. This is so weird because
Okay. We've had a pretty good idea of her title and intro. Let's go ahead and give her a grade. What do you think about the title and the intro? Cozy fall shopping at Barnes and Nobles, and then the intro. I'm not too sure. I'll probably give her a C on that as well. That's pretty average. It was sort of a cluttered intro, and she didn't mention the title until about 15 seconds in, which was okay, but it could have been a better start. Now we're going to look at her screen presence, how she is on camera, and give her some sort of a grade for that. So let's watch her on screen for a minute or two here. We've already seen a little bit.
I just had a moment of realization that I've shopped at this Barnes & Noble like plenty of times before. It was the first time I've done fall book shopping in here, and so just for some reason I'm like having imposter syndrome, and I'm like, I don't know where anything is. I don't know what to think right now. I don't know how to free think. Like, someone tell me what to do. It's like a sensory thing too. I love that. I love that. I love that. It feels like a brown paper bag. This looks insane. Wait, what? Wait, what?
They're just doing new special editions of
Oh, this feels like it's like hundreds of dollars. It feels.
Okay, let's talk about her so far. Her screen. She's talking to someone off camera. Obviously, someone I guess it's her boyfriend or somebody is shooting the video, and she's talking to him off camera. I'm not sure. You might want to introduce them or in some way talk about them other than just, I mean, it's weird to just be going along and then all of a sudden you start talking to some guy off the camera there. And two, I don't like all the choppy text. Instead of running captions, she's got all this choppy text. She has the text come up in phrases to emphasize when she says something, and it's starting to get annoying. That's just my opinion, of course. Tell me what you think. She's got a nice, I guess, comfortable demeanor on camera. She's not shy, so that's good. She doesn't appear to be overly nervous. So I guess she's doing okay so far, but
It feels like gold. I don't know how to explain that, but like it feels heavy plated. Find a corner.
But I don't like all the text, this weird text that comes up. And holding the mic is a problem. She's holding a mic. She's holding the mic with one hand and a straw, and then she's holding her cup over here with another one. And it's making me nervous, and it's sort of confusing. She needs to put that mic on her blouse, attach it to her blouse, and it's just, you know, you keep thinking she's going to drop that coffee.
So I can like stab the straw in. I just feel like this isn't the right section for it. I love your shirt. Oh. That is amazing. It said people 1 star. Blueberry cobbler matcha. Dash of the blueberry cobbler. Whoa, that's good today. First book, I think it is actually YA, which I have not read YA in a long time. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I think I'm gonna look for this first book right now called The 13th Tale. This is now tradition at this point, but starting last year, I started sharing my fall album with you guys, and it's called Autumn
Okay, now maybe
in a
she's
Small Town. Last year, I only had it up for 24 hours.
maybe she's holding that mic because she's at the bookstore and she doesn't want to talk loud, and so she needs to adjust maybe the level of the mic. She's sort of whispering, so she's holding the mic really close. So maybe that's the reason she is carrying the mic in her hand instead of attaching it to her blouse. I mean, these are the kind of things you think about when you're thinking about screen presence, how you look on camera.
And it has 171 saves, 8 hours of music. Like, I love this playlist. I think it is like the perfect fall playlist in my opinion. I will put the link in the description for my autumn playlist. Okay, time to go find some books.
It's good that she mentioned the description. That's often a way of engaging the audience. If you have something available for them to download or something to see in the description, you'll see this a lot. You'll see YouTubers mention go into the description. I've got a link to something or to for a download or some free materials. So you're thinking in terms of wanting to engage your audience and keep them active with what you're doing. So that's a good thing.
Yes, we got a picture. Okay. I don't know what genre this is, so we're just gonna have to try and find it, I think. It's either mystery or general fiction.
If it doesn't tell you the genre,
Okay, finally, it looks like this must be the guy she's talking to off camera. He's holding the camera and probably videotaping her as they walk through the bookstore. I wish she would have introduced him at the beginning. Maybe if you're a follower of hers and you've seen a lot of her videos, maybe you know who this guy is, but I'm seeing her for the first time. So you may want to mention, if you're with somebody who's off camera with you, you may, and especially if they're going to show up later on, you may want to go ahead and introduce them at the beginning, instead of just having this guy pop up all of a sudden.
most likely the best place to start is general fiction. So,
I would agree.
happy book shopping.
I don't see it.
Okay, she's got a little musical montage going on here, which is a nice change of pace. But again, this video is 22 minutes long. So what's going to keep me interested here? I'm already starting to maybe get a little bored, so I'm going to move ahead a little bit here and see.
Fox of Deadwood Forest, and look how whimsical this looks. I love the cover, and
Okay, she's changed locations, and you notice there's a change in the color, how much cooler it is, how blue, she's almost, look how blue this is compared to the Barnes and Nobles right here. Let's see. All right, see how warm the colors are? Now go to this other location. See the difference? Now that can be corrected in post-editing. She can take this bluish tint of the different location and make it look warmer, like the warmness of the other bookstore. It would add some continuity. So she's got some color issues going on here, but in your editing software, if you're using Premiere Pro or something like that, you can do some color correction and make your entire video look pretty much the same. That's the reason I wanted to mention that.
Off the top of my mind, but this year I dabbled in a lot of different things and I'm really excited. I think you guys are gonna be shocked for me, honestly, but I kind of wanted to branch out and take a little bit of risks here. So the first book that I got that you guys actually didn't see because I had to order this online is called The Undead Fox of Deadwood Forest, and look how whimsical this looks. I love the cover and I love how small it is. Like, it just fits in my hand so perfectly. This has like 4.4 stars on Goodreads and has about 900 and something ratings. So I thought I would give it a try. Like, usually I would think about reading a book like this. Actually, I wouldn't even think about reading a book like this, to be honest.
Okay. She's spending a lot of time talking about that book. And I'm thinking maybe a little tighter edit. We could cut this 22 minutes down to maybe a workable 15. Now you'll notice it's gone back warm again. See the temperature change? It has to do with the camera she's using. Well, let's go forward here a little bit. See where she's still in that one
text. Do you guys see that too?
She hasn't changed location. She's still in front of that bookshelf.
That is just so autumnal and very gothic, and I am actually really loving it. Oh, whoa. Wait, that's so freaking cool. I love books. So excited about this one. So basically, this is young adult mystery, thriller, paranormal, horror. I'm very excited to read a young adult book like this because I am not a horror fan. I do love Stephen King's books, and I mean, those are very much so horror, but I feel like I really understand.
Okay, I think she's got a really good screen presence in terms of her ability to talk and she's not nervous. She's really poised when she looks on camera. She talks well. She's got a great personality. I really like the personality. It's just that some of the technical issues, some of the things that she could do in post-editing would really tighten this thing up and make her that much better. Well, let's see how she ends this thing.
Of high school, and she's moving from Manhattan to Bramble Falls, Connecticut. And I don't know if that's a real place in Connecticut. I need to look that up. She ends up seeing her used to be best friend and first kiss. His name is Cooper, and he's now the local barista, and he has completely grown up and glowed up, as she says. He wants nothing to do with her. And so then there's this local Falling Leaves Festival. It's a month-long tourist attraction run by the...
Okay, I'm not so sure we need to be reading from the book. It's kind of boring to hear you read something that's on the book itself, especially if it goes for more than 10 seconds. All right, let's get toward the end here. See how she ends this thing. All right.
Puzzle company. It's called Gallison. And this one also kind of merges into Christmas and the holidays as well. And then this one just goes with our whole theme in our apartment. And it's a fall autumn by the sea puzzle. Are you kidding me? That is so perfect. I'm so excited. I love it. That is everything for my fall book haul. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you go fall book shopping annually and what books you're looking for. Like, do you actually have books that you're looking for, or do you just kind of walk in and see what sticks out to you, or do you not care if it even has to do with fall? Do you just go book being like you would usually. I love you guys so much. I cannot wait to see you in a reading vlog coming very soon. Bye guys!
Okay, she's got a great personality. She's really good on camera. She's not nervous. She's real friendly, personable. She's authentic. The only issues I have are maybe on the technical side. She needs to do some editing. The intro is pretty week. I don't.
Reporting live. There is a cool breeze in the air. There are pumpkins back at Whole Foods and
Now see, she's already 10 seconds in and she's talking about the weather. It would have been much better if she'd have just come out. Sometimes you can start your video with a question that ties into the title. For example, she's talking about book shopping in the title. First things out of her mouth could have been a question like, hey, you guys want to go book shopping? Boom, right there she's already mentioned the title. But here it is, we're 8 seconds in and she's talking about the weather.
sprout and pumpkin.
Now, to be honest, the cozy fall idea was in the title too, but it's more about the book shopping than it is the weather.
Drinks are back. You know what that means? Book shopping. Okay, cool.
Okay, right there she said book shopping.
Okay, cool.
All right, I do like the Psalm 23:5 verse. That's nice.
We're back.
Tells me something a little bit about her.
An annual thing at
So I'm not too sure. So let's think about giving her some ratings here. What do you guys think? A, B, C, or D? The thumbnail, the title, I gave her a C. The intro, man, that intro is just a little wacky. I'm going to give her a C for the intro as well. She did good. She did a good job about mentioning the book shopping within 15 seconds, so that's not bad. At least she didn't wait longer than that, so that's good. Screen presence. I think she's got a great screen presence, and I wish it was edited better. That's the only issue I have, is she could cut some of those scenes down a little bit, but she's excellent on camera and she's real friendly and real personable. She's authentic. She's not working from a script, at least it doesn't seem like it. I don't like the idea of talking to someone off camera unless you've introduced them, especially if you're going to show up later in the film, so I'm going to dock her a little bit for that. So screen presence, I'm going to give her a B-, maybe a C to a B-, because I do like her screen presence in terms of her personality and the way she talks on camera and everything. But in terms of the content itself, I guess unless you follow her and are really into, her style of books and her genre, I guess you probably would go along with it. But if you're looking for new viewers and everything, the content itself needs some editing, and the color variation is also noticeable, where it goes from your cool color palette to a more warm palette, switching back and forth. You want some consistency in your video. You want it to either make it all cool and bluish or make it all warm and cozy. It should have been all warm and cozy to go along with her title. So content, I'm gonna give a C-, C to a C-. So in terms of an overall rating, I got to go with a C. So let me know what you think in comments. You probably think I'm full of it. Maybe you really love this. Thought it was an A. But that's okay. I'm just trying to learn some things here. What I have learned from watching this particular video is to, number one, watch my temperature of the color. Make sure it's either all warm or it's all cool, especially when I'm changing locations, because that can be done in post-editing. So that's my 2 cents worth on that. All right, let's move along here. We've done our YouTube critique for the morning. So again, welcome. If you've joined us late, I'm Mitch, and I'm coming to you live from the Lamppost Coffee Shop. We're in the Austin, Texas area. The sun's out. It's going to be a beautiful day, I hope, before the rain and cold weather moves in. So drop into chat, let us know what's going on. This is the process we're going through here. Intro, YouTube critique, which we just got done. Now we're going to take a look at a few questions, and we'll go from there, see what's going on in our question category. Question number 1. What kind of videos should I start with if I don't have any fancy equipment? Well, really all you need is an iPhone, some sort of a camera on your phone. Everybody's got a camera on their phone, and that's all you need. The idea is to start off simple. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment. So the best kind of videos you can do on your iPhone, maybe do some walking videos where you saw her walk through a bookstore, and you can take your video and show yourself walking through a bookstore or outside. You can go for a walk downtown, go window shopping. The idea is you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. Just think about what you do with your phone. You take your phone with you everywhere. You can set the phone up in the kitchen and shoot a video from the kitchen using your phone. So I've got my phone. This is my phone right here. I've got my iPhone set up and use it as a feed into my OBS. And so I'm using my iPhone right here. That's not fancy, but it gets the job done. So you don't need a whole lot of fancy equipment. The idea is just to start creating content. You learn as you create. So the idea is just to get started. If you really want to create some videos, then find yourself something to say and say it. How do I come up with video ideas that people actually want to watch? Well, that's the key question, isn't it? I mean, video ideation is what it's called. Ideation. Spending time coming up with ideas. Colin and Samir, if you're not familiar with them, they're YouTube aficionados, and Colin and Samir spend a lot of time talking about video ideas and creating ideas and how much time you need to spend coming up with video ideas. And they think it should be a daily process. You sit down every day and come up with 10 ideas, and you do that consistently for a week. At the end of the week, you've got 70 ideas. So, but how do you come up with them? Well, you can look at YouTube. Just become a watcher of YouTube. Spend an hour on YouTube and see what everyone else is doing. You can take topics and video ideas from other people who are posting. So, for example, let's go up to the browser and let's look at what people are posting. A lot of this is news related. And because I did a search on BookTube, we're going to get a lot of that. What if we go to, let's see, what if we pull up another subject? Just pull up a subject called, I'm going to say fun times. And just see what pops up. Let's see what people are posting under the search of fun times. Fun times at the dentist. A lot of these are shorts. Fun times in July. Aesthetic Baby Alive TikToks. Let's see. Fun time at Homer's. Year in review. Can we make it to daycare safely? This is where you can come up with your own ideas. You've got to spend some time on YouTube and see what other people are posting. And start writing down some ideas of your own. Take someone's idea and put a different slant on it. Look at this one. Looks like an auto mechanic. Maybe an idea would be to videotape your next oil change. Whip out the iPhone, and from start to finish, you're getting an oil change. So that's the idea of getting ideas, is watch what other people are posting, and it's a good source for ideas. And the idea is the hope is that you'll do it every day. You'll sit down and you'll write a list of ideas on a daily basis and try to come up with a running list that you can work off of. All right, let's see. Should I focus on quality or quantity when starting out? Well, that's a good question, because there are two camps. The first camp says quality. You want to do the very best video that you can do before you post it. And I guess it depends on if you're a beginner, if you're just starting out, or if you've been at it a while. I think if you're a beginner, I think it's more about posting. You've got to get the experience in terms of posting content. And so, do I want to spend 6 months trying to come up with a perfect high quality video, or do I want to post 100 videos during that 6 months? I mean, that's the question you want to ask yourself. Eventually, of course, you want both. You want to be able to post consistently and regularly and get the quantity, but then you want the quality to be there as well. So, number one, I guess it depends on where you're at in your journey. If you're just starting out, I think you just need to start posting. And then you will learn and begin to improve as you post. The quality will get better as you move along. Because if you wait around and try to get a video to be perfect before you post, then that's not going to happen. I mean, you'll never post, because nothing's ever going to be perfect. So I think it's all about maybe setting yourself some goals. If you're just starting out and you want to build your YouTube channel, maybe you want to look at your schedule and figure, okay, I can post one 15-minute video a week, and then just do the best you can. But be diligent about posting something that week, and then do it again the next week. Maybe you can post 2 videos a week, or 3. The idea is you've got to start creating. And creation and creating videos, art in general, is all about getting to revisions, getting to iterations. The first video you post is not going to be perfect, but the one that you do down the road, the 100th video, is going to be much better. So quality will improve over time. So I think it's just get started. That's the main idea, is you've just got to get started. You've got to start posting. And so I'm sort of in the school of quantity if you're starting out, to get you into the flow of creating and getting comfortable on camera and creating videos, and then you can work on quality as you go along and make improvements. I mean, think about the iPhone. Think about Apple. They come up with this iPhone version 1, and they make it as best as they can. It's a quality iPhone that they come out with, and make a big production about the new iPhone. And they make it as, you know, as functional and as helpful and as great as they can. Well, how many versions of iPhone have come out? What are we on now? Number 17? So if Apple has had 17 iterations or 17 versions and upgrades of their iPhone, then that should tell us something. You want to make the best video you can when you're starting out. You want the quality to be as high and as good as you can get it. But the real strength is going to be, the real possibilities are going to be, as you post, the quality is going to become better. You're going to learn as you post, and your quality is going to improve, and you're going to make further revisions, and you're going to make iterations, and things are going to change, and things are going to get better. Oh, excuse me. So, quality or quantity? I think it depends on where you're at. If you've been posting a while, if you've been posting for a year and you've got 100 videos under your belt, then maybe you need to look at the quality. How can you start making them look better? All right, let's take one more. Do I really need to post on a schedule? Well, that's a good question, because I tend to be, with my live streams, I post on a schedule, but I also tend to pop in sometimes in the afternoons and do an ad hoc live stream just for the heck of it, without it being on a schedule at all. So I think a schedule is helpful because it will force you to post and stay consistent. So I would say post on a schedule would be a good idea. If you're going to post 2 videos a week, come up with a firm deadline. And then just like if you're in Hollywood cutting a film, or you're on a TV show, let's say you're running a series in Hollywood, those guys have deadlines. They've got to have that show ready before the next air date. So, you know, having a schedule will really be helpful. And I think probably having a schedule is the best thing to do in terms of posting on a schedule. The idea is you want to be consistent. But once you have that schedule in place and you are posting on schedule, then you can just do things on the cuff. I mean, I have this live stream scheduled to go from 9 o'clock for about an hour every morning, weekday morning. And so I'm here at the coffee shop, 9 o'clock every weekday morning, and that's the schedule. And I try to stick to it. And that doesn't prevent me from posting something during the day that's not on the schedule. So I would say have a schedule as your sort of your anchor. The schedule would be your anchor, but you're free, of course, to go without. So, all right. So, we've had our time of Q&A. Let's get to our guest speaker and spend a couple of minutes. Let's see who I've got today. I think I've got Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm not real sure where along in the conversation we're at here, but let's watch Gary for a minute and see what he's got to say this morning.
A lot of our friends, everyone took kind of different paths. It's so weird we're getting together. I had some really long flights recently, and I get a lot of work done on my flights, but these were like 20-hour flights.
Oh, man.
And so I got everything done, and I had a little bit of time on my hand. And, you know, time on your hand can go anywhere. You can go into like TikTok and Instagram stream for 9 hours. You can get into these weird like Wikipedia. Now my new one is just weird prompt engineering on ChatGPT.
Yep.
I just start asking crazy questions like, what if the Roman Empire was actually based on 19? Like I just get into weird places.
By the way, imagine a social network for prompts.
Oh, I mean,
like, show me your fucking prompts.
I mean, there's so much coming. Oh, yeah, like Venmo.
Yeah.
I was an early guy. Venmo was one of my best New York investments. They sold too early, Cortina, but nonetheless, in some ways, I went on that video game in the way of being known, right? I decided amongst our group of many people running here that the personal brand was a moat, that it was misunderstood. And so in some ways I did that. What I was about to say was on that long flight, I looked up people that I have not talked to in 10 years, like people that were really growing up in the game here. And it's just fun to see like where people went. Back to Uber, we were talking about, I don't know, I think we were talking about that before the pod started.
Yeah.
Ryan Graves.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun to see like different people 15 years later, 20 years later. Some people doubled down on their careers. Some people pivoted. Some people went into politics. Baratunde hit me up the other day.
Yeah.
Another, literally hadn't talked to him in 7 or 8
I
years.
haven't seen him in ages
You know,
either.
he just literally texted me a day ago or 2 days ago where he went. He's like, I'm living out here now. People started families. A lot of these kids, you know, a lot of us were kids. I was married at the time, but like a lot of people were straight out of school. So families, this and that. And then listen, financially, some of the people we came up with made uncomfortable amounts of money, are some of the richest people in the world. And
they still answer our emails.
yeah, I mean, I think that's right. And then there's people that are far less successful that don't. Like, money and fame is not a variable of your humanity. It exposes your humanity. Money and fame don't change you, they expose you.
Oh, that's pretty good. We may want to stop there. That's a pretty good point. Money and fame expose you. It really, really shows who you are. And, you know, some people, when they get rich, they think they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it really shows that that's the way they've been their whole life. And then other people, they get rich and they still act the way they were when they were not rich. So, very good. I'm going to move forward a little bit and see. I'm just at random. See what else we got.
Fucking millionaires on fucking Wall Street buying fucking Le Chateau Lafite. Like, I used to, when I was 16 years old, I thought if you owned any kind of Mercedes, I didn't know what class was what. If you had a Mercedes, you were the fucking richest person I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
So I had this track in the first 30 years of my life that had a ton of context, many different people, very humble shit. I didn't even know where the Hamptons was. I grew up in New Jersey, and when Hamptons Vodka launched, when I was 26, do you know how insane what I'm about to tell you is? I grew up in Jersey my whole life. I'm 26 years old. A salesman comes in to pitch Hamptons Vodka. It's this great bottle. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's I think it's still around, but it was hot for a few minutes. I look at it. I'm like, man, this is great packaging. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll buy it because I'm the buyer of the store. I go, by the way, like, what's the Hamptons name come from? He goes, the Hamptons. I go, where's that? He goes, he laughed, and he's like, and you could tell, like, pretty quickly I wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the Hamptons? He goes, no, bro, like, the Hamptons, Long Island. I'm like, like, because you got to remember, when I was 26, it was 2001. We didn't live on the internet. Social media hadn't come. Like, if you, like, I wasn't reading. I was fucking working 17 hours a day. Like, I didn't and I grew up fucking not in those circles. I didn't know the Upper East Side. I didn't know Rolex. I didn't fucking, you know, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and MTV Cribs was like the closest thing you saw. Now these kids, and I have empathy for the kids, the reason they're fucked up is in their feed, all they're seeing is 1% of 1% of 1% wealth and beauty. They're seeing fucking dudes making hundreds of $1 millions, hooking up with the hottest chicks in the world, and they're like, fuck, my life sucks. We didn't have that. I was like, I didn't even know where the fucking Hamptons was. It wasn't like I was living in Kansas. I was in fucking Jersey and had no clue that the Hamptons existed.
Yeah.
So, by the way, all of that
I
is
didn't either.
all of that
until last year. Now we have a Hamptons house.
Yeah, I think you knew of it before, and I think here's the fun part. By the way, this story now picks up around the time I met you. So I'm in this cocoon of the liquor store up until the day I start seeing you in 2006-07 at these meetups.
Summit Series.
Yeah, like that. I always think that the reason I had a different kind of career in tech and all this was I came at it from a totally different place.
And what a different place is.
I wasn't
like these 4-year, 2-year
all these
cycles
different places,
of completely different demographic.
And you know this, the tech scene in New York in 2005, 6, 7, 8, you were either a developer, straight nerd, by the way. Like, these tech kids were nerds. Or
fintech, ad tech,
yeah,
primarily.
just nerds.
Yeah.
I'm talking even Web 2.0, like,
Yeah.
you know, or like it was tech people.
Yeah.
Like now tech is like
IT people.
correct. Or you were an Ivy League kid.
Yeah.
Right? Like you were truly a Stanford, Harvard, Brown, and you were like kind of knew that this was coming and like, but it was just like, and that was a whole nother world for me. So yeah, that's been the story of my life a little bit.
Yeah, I love it. And that self-confidence is rooted from your parents, but also from all these interactions and all these these social circles.
Yeah, and I think also I would tell you, and I'm curious, hit me up on social if this resonates for you. I don't think I've said this much in my life. I think my self-confidence comes from me knowing that I'm not trying to do anything bad to anyone. Does that make sense? Like when you were just talking, that was like what was on the tip of my tongue. I think my self-confidence comes from I don't need your validation, which is just a whole different fucking game. And I know that I'm genuinely not trying to do anything but good. So what do I have to worry about?
That's pretty good. We can take some advice there. Just not care about what other people think. We are who we are. And I don't need validation from anybody. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to hate me. I am who I am. And that's where the confidence comes from. Confidence comes from not giving a damn what other people think. So go out there today and make some videos. Make some posts. Get going. We all need to get busy and stop messing around. If we want to make videos, make videos. I mean, you've got one in your pocket. You've got a camera ready to go. Just pull it out and start making content. It's all free. It doesn't cost you a dime to get on YouTube and post a video. So do it. All right, I guess we've been at this about an hour. We better quit. So thanks. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, from the Lamppost Coffee Shop. And we'll continue to talk about social media, talk about YouTube, and talk about growing our channels and doing what we can to be a success. And if you're not monetized, get monetized. That's what we're trying to do. And so go out there and have a good day. And we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching. See you again soon.
And when you ba-da-ba-da-ba